It's 97.9 The Box, the Madd Hatta Morning Show, and we're back with another episode of Thruple Live! It's like a TV show now, baby. We don't get many guests to come back, but when they do, you know it's got to be good. Last time, a young Alex came through with two beautiful women talking about a lifestyle that he lived, and we were arguing about, was it polygamy, was it polyamorous?
Polygyny.
Yeah. We were arguing about all that, so we're going to have to do a reset for those who are first-comers or first-timers in this whole interview. Jazz has new questions. Jimbo's back there wanting to know how he can involve his wife.
That's right.
So it's going to be good.
Introductory meeting. How does that happen?
Nah, let me stop.
Just jokes.
Yeah, it's all jokes. Because Jimbo, if you get kicked out, you can't stay in my house. No, but Alex got his two beautiful ladies here. Shalaun and Shantell.
Yes.
All right. And this is how we started basically last year with this introduction of the young ladies and the gentlemen who live reintroduce the lifestyle called...
we call it right now poly because there's so many different transforms over because there's polyamory and polygyny. The difference between polyamory V and polygyny is because polygyny is a religion based. You know, you have structure. The one wife does this, one wife does that.
Right.
So when you have a poly V, you have you can still have multiple men or wife depending on what you. So right now there's so much going on and so much.
Yeah, I was kind of confused because Jazz said there was another definition.
Yeah.
If the two women get involved with each other, it's
it
called
would be
something.
polyamory.
Right.
Because there'll be consent within the relationship, but depending how it goes, because it could also be because you do have pansexuals that have their own favor and it's a mixture. So you could have those off triads with that. You could have so many dynamics in the polyamory world. So it's just really better just to identify as polyam. That because people do call it poly, but the polygyny, what were they getting offended? Polygyny, one of them were getting offended. Yes, for the words and the terms. But
now, there were children and the whole nine involved and everybody. The last episode we left, you were all living together under one roof because it was two. I guess it all started before because, okay, let's do a reminder for those that don't know. I think, did you step out, Alex, originally? And the wife found out and she like, instead of getting angry about it, let me understand why you was doing what you was doing, and let me talk to this woman. Am I wrong about this? Is that the way it originally went down, Shantell?
Storyline is correct.
Okay, all right. Storyline's correct. You know, because we got to get the movie right. Jimbo, you writing this?
Yeah.
All right.
Storyline is correct.
Okay.
The people are incorrect. That is the wife.
I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yes. He was stepping out with me.
Yes.
Politically correct, side chick, whatever you want to name it, other woman. So, yes, and then moving forward, we did all move in under one big roof. Happy family, kids, the dog, everything.
How many kids?
Involved.
Two. Okay. So, since then, we're all still living together because I know people were wondering. I'll be honest with y'all. So, you know, we put the video up. We film everything. We put it on the air. And we podcast it now. So, it's out there. Now, Cooper goes and still checks comments to see. I'm not going to lie to you. Of all the interviews of all the artists we've ever had on the show, yours is probably top two. In the hundreds of thousands of people that have watched the video. And comments still come in daily of people who either... I guess most of them seem like they co-sign. Now, I don't ever read them. I just hear them like Cooper, like, yeah, man, people are still commenting up to now. I'm like, really? Yeah. We did that a year. Literally, we almost did this a year ago.
Today.
It's almost up to the date. So it's kind of interesting because we didn't mean for that to happen. I wasn't looking at the calendar. Jazz just said, oh, yeah, we put the video up in November around this time.
Literally like a year from
now. So it's crazy. But you all have, everybody's still happy. Everything is still happening.
Yes.
And the reason why I asked about the happiness because in one of the people that when Jazz was creeping said one of the ladies looked unhappy and I don't know who they were talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. They were like the lady in the middle looks unhappy. It was probably
Shalaun.
It was Shalaun.
I always have a stone face, no matter what I do. It could be 1,000,001 videos. It's just the way I rock. I have a resting bitch face.
There's a situation and talking about it and stuff, like it didn't make you uncomfortable.
No, it never makes me uncomfortable. It's just people just have to understand my personality and my demeanor. Once you get to know me, you'll understand that I'm really cool, laid back, and I'll smile and I'll crack jokes and everything. It's just when I first encounter a situation, I'm more or less trying to read it and figure it out, so I have more of like a stone face. That's just me.
I just wanted to clarify that because someone said, "Oh, she doesn't look very happy," and I want to clarify if they're still together after a year. I'm hoping that there's a certain amount of happiness there. I want to make sure that you don't feel like somebody has pushed you into a situation that you don't want to be in. This is something I think you encouraged, correct?
Yes.
And your reason for encouraging this relationship was why?
Because when me and Alex had encountered our point in time where we had hit a wall in our relationship and we weren't really meshing that well, and he got introduced to Shantell, well, we had been together for 20 years already. Well, 19.
Right.
So when it happened,
y'all look so like maybe y'all just creeping into
the extra pushes to do.
Trying
to have an LL summer. No. So
when it happened, it was kind of like, okay, well, it took this long for him to find somebody that piques his interest at the same way I pique his interest. So, you know, I mean, I was like any woman at the beginning. I was upset. I was mad. I didn't want to meet Shantell. But then I had to rationalize and think about it. You know what? I've been with him for so long, and he's never done this type of thing before. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be like the typical female, be out there in the streets fighting, showing up to his job, whoop, whoop. And you know what? I'm going to meet her. I want to see what she has to say.
And we probably asked these questions before. Why was it never a question of I'll just leave? I know you have kids, and you know I'll just go.
Or was there like somebody that convinced you to maybe like stay?
No, I convinced myself, and I thought about it myself and weighed my pros and cons. And like I'm not the best person in the world either. When I found out about the situation, I went out there and I tried to do my own thing too, and found out, you know what? It's just a game out there. Like everybody's out there to sell you a story and blow smoke up your butt. And it's just like, you know what? I'm going to weigh my pros and cons, and I know where I'm really, really happy at, and I know where my heart lies. So I'm going to figure out how we can work it out.
How long did it take? Oh, sorry. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I did too. When she said she weighed out the pros and cons, I'm just curious of what the cons and pros were.
My pros were that our relationship was built off of trust and honesty from the beginning. Mm-hmm. We've always held that stature in our relationship, and it was that point in time. You know, it happens in every relationship. Some point in time, someone's unhappy or something comes to the table that makes a person want to question the relationship that they're in.
What was your con?
My con was just being lied to.
Was there ever a fear, and you never feared being alone without your man, your husband?
No, I never.
Never. So that was not your part of your decision.
No, my mom raised me from 3 years old until I was 18 years old by herself. My grandma, she did the same thing. So I come from a long line of strong, independent women that I know I could do it on my own without him. So
that was not your choice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, Jazz.
Oh, so how long did it take you like to have that realization when you were weighing the pros and cons? Like, what was the process like?
Ooh,
that would have been hot for a while.
That was what? Up, down.
Even during.
Yes.
Right. And that's a very fair question because it doesn't, one day you don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, okay, she can just come over and be a part of this. Right. There's a process that has to happen. You know, there's the disappointment of finding out, okay, man's cheating, woman, what am I going to do? So, Jazz, that's a very good question. I don't even think we asked that the first time about the length of time.
I waited almost a year into the day that I found out that he was with Shantell.
Wow.
So they had been together a year already? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Didn't know that last time. Alex.
No, it wasn't a full year, though. It was a few months. And then that's when she went to go talk to somebody else, too. Right, and that's when kind of transitioned to, well, you're speaking to somebody else. Well, it pushed me and Shantell more closer.
Oh, you know? Okay. Now, I didn't know that. Now, we didn't know that last time.
Yeah, last time.
So last time, you're like, okay, F you, I'll just go ahead and do my thing over here. Oh, I didn't know that last time.
Yeah, we had let that. Because I was like, you know, I'll just be the cheater. I can take that. I got tough skin. You know?
Right.
So, you know, we're supposed. So, you know, yeah.
Are out of control, so they didn't want to share that amount of detail.
But you're comfortable with it now.
Yeah,
that's cool. So how were you able, because most men, you know, they're not able to bounce back after they know that their woman, no matter if we do it first or not, no matter if we've done it 200 times, all they got to do it is once, and our egos are crushed.
It's crushed.
We can't see straight no more, and we can't face them anymore because we punks like that. So how were you able to be strong enough, like, you know what, the game is the game, and I love this person, so what?
You know, I knew what it was. Okay, you seen I was in a situation, you wanted to get me back, and I was cool. And it was crazy when I caught her. I told her, I was like, look, it is what it is. I see what you was doing, and then I spoke to her family too, and her family was like, you know what it was. You know, you did it first, so she's going out there and seeing what it is too. I said, I respect that. So when I got contact with dude, I told Roll dude, I was like, okay, you got one, you win. Losing number 86. Yo, what escalated the situation? Because me and her we gonna reestablish. We've been together for so long. It goes back for like I love you. That's it. I get it. But when he got out, what you wanted. I just let you slide. You know what I mean? You won. Take the
that
win.
Dub, but take the overall L and walk away. You know, right.
You know, he kept going back for me. I got the opportunity that, you know what I mean, to express myself physically with him when I finally caught him. You know, and then after that, you know, it was.
I like the way he threw it out there like that. I finally had a chance to express myself with these pals.
And what got me was the next day he pulled her to the house. When he pulled her to the house, that's when it settled in, and that's what made me like have animosity towards her with it. Like, would this do here? Or like, that's what actually like, it wasn't the initial cheating. I said we could get past that. I did it, foul play.
Felt like a violation,
but it was when I seen that, the comfortability. Now that kind of shut me down a little bit, and that's when we had to kind of work back up. And that's when me and Shantell got a little bit closer at that point.
Well, this adds a whole new dimension to the story.
Because what if the roles were reversed and you decided that you'll have this man be a part of your marriage?
That was not. We were clear that he would not.
I wouldn't.
Alex was not.
There is polydynamics like that.
Yeah.
That work wonderful.
See?
But everybody does what they like. You know, that's gonna make them happy. You know
You understood it was not an option.
And I wouldn't want to be in a dynamic like that. I'm more of a woman who needs someone who's going to be dominant in order to be in that situation. I mean, you can't have two males in a relationship that are both dominant. It's going to be smoke and fireworks all the way.
Yeah, it's going to be, that's what. But there are some wonderful, beautiful dynamics out there like that. Right. They are, because the beautiful thing about poly, it's what you do freely for your happiness and for your love. So different dynamics, and trust me, their families are beautiful. We have so many families that follow us. Shout out to them. Shout out to always supporting and showing us love. And what's crazy is shout out to Dev and Danny. They are the founders of Black Poly Nation out of Houston. Have over 13,000 people on there. They hold
in this city.
Yes, in this city. Well, all together throughout the whole U.S.
Me and Dad's like, what?
But they do hold gatherings.
Right.
They hold gatherings. They bring the meetups. They do it in Philly, New York, L.A., everywhere, and they're actually helping the community grow as well. You know, so big shout out to them. And it's a lot of people coming out, different dynamics, different ways. For me, no, you
things that
you get down with it. Okay, so again, because that was a new dynamic, and I appreciate y'all sharing that because y'all didn't want to share it last time. So, as all this is happening, you have to make a decision: one, not to be with this other guy anymore; that you're going to stay with your man. And when do you make the realization, like, okay, obviously this guy that I'm with loves this other person too, or at least deeply likes her enough where I have to let me see what she's about. And so you are okay with bringing her into the family fold, so to speak.
Yeah, it was more or less like, okay, so with the other guy, I talked to him maybe on the phone for about 2 weeks. For Alex to come in and find out about him and make him fold so easily, that you're not my kind of dude. I had told you before, my background's kind of crazy, so you don't want this smoke over here.
I'm not that
and
crazy.
You want to throw that kind of stuff out there.
Right, you got to be.
Well,
ready.
you're not the alpha person I'm looking for, so you're 86. So. So, with him,
it's a real gangster right here. It's a real gangster.
But for him and Shantell, when he would speak about the situation, even though we were at our odds, he was still speaking very highly of this girl. Like, he didn't want me to have an interaction with her where we would come to blows, or we would be mad at each other and just tussle and fight the whole time. He wanted us to, have calmer heads and at least speak to each other if we were going to be able to speak to each other. Because from the first point in time he told me about Shantell, I said, well, I want to meet her. That's it.
But don't most women want to meet whomever is the other chick anyway? Right. Because they're trying to decide if they are going to throw blows on arrival, or if they're going to try to talk it out.
When I first said it, yes, that's where I was at. At that point in time, it's either we're going to throw blows, or I'm going to get to know who she is, and he's going to go that way, or he's going to come this way.
Okay.
But after a while, I kind of started seeing his pattern, and then he was always speaking highly of her, and then I was just like, you know what? How about you let me meet the girl who you speak so highly of, who has your attention on that side, because your balance right now it's not correct to me. So there's something obviously that she has that you want to be with, and I'm open to dating girls anyway, so.
But did he know that? Did you go into the relationship knowing this in the first place, or this something during the course of a relationship you're just finding out?
We had threesomes before,
right?
So it was that. But when we spoke about it, we had seen it on TV before anything had happened. We seen it on a TV show, and then I made jokes about it. So I was like, "Hey, look at here, you hanging out with two.
It's called suggestion.
I'm just here to just lay that out there right now. You know what I mean?" Then when she was like, "Yeah, that sounds cool," like, whoa, yeah, I'm with it. No.
So you thought about it. So did y'all have another conversation about? Okay, you know that we've done certain things. We lived a particular way. Would you consider? Did you have to bring that up as a conversation, or is it something that you brought up because you say, "I can see why this person is so connected to this person. She seems to be cool. I like her. I'm open to certain things. Maybe, perhaps."
It was more of a maybe, perhaps situation. We didn't really discuss it.
Right.
He just knew that I was open to being in a relationship with women, and then he said that he had spoke to Shantell at one point, and she said, "Hey, you know what? It's whatever." So it was kind of like.
You haven't spoken yet, but trust me, we getting to you. We getting to you. Since we got some new dynamics at play here, we gotta vet that first, and then we gonna move on. Now, so you did. Okay, go ahead, Jazz. Go.
Now, what was the thing that attracted you so much, or what was that thing that made you
to Shantell?
To Shantell, yeah. What you wanted your wife to understand, what was?
Yeah, just the authenticity. Shantell was a hardhead. I like a woman kind of with attitude, and I always had attitude in the hallway, and everything I would confine in or whatever, it'll be honest truth. I can sit there and we'll discuss problems, and she'll tell me where I was wrong. Well, no, first of all, you should have did this, or it should have been and I like that. I don't like a yes man. I don't want someone to always be boosting me up. I want you to correct me. That's how I'm going to elevate myself. I'm going to help you elevate yourself. And that really got me okay, you're sharpening my tool. So then, at that moment when me and Shalaun were going through too much, I wasn't receiving at that moment from her. Not that she didn't do it, but at that moment when you're clashing, I'm not hearing what you're saying. Right. So it was cool she'll send me back correct, nah, you wrong. You know what I mean? Go handle that and go correct that. You know what I mean? You got to let that be. And I really, really did appreciate that in a person, because I ain't really have that nowhere else.
Right.
Shalaun, were you the aggressor in creating what is now what we see here? When did you make the decision, you know what, it's probably time for us to develop as us three?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. When I felt it was right, I told him, I said, well, let's call her up so we can go out and eat. Just me and her at first. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, me and her, I want to go out and speak to her and have a conversation with her just to get to know who she is, because she was still in the picture.
What was that first meeting like?
Well, it did not quite go that way. Only due to the fact that Alex was a nervous wreck, so he was not going to let that happen.
Right,
you guys meet up alone? Oh no! So
I can tell they both. They got alpha ways inside of them.
Yeah.
You can see that. So this could be a meeting that not necessarily turns out good.
So he was sweating bullets under that hat. I got to be there. He needed to be there. Mm-hmm. Just due to the fact I did not know her, she didn't know me. And he knew both of us, so he knew it could go either way.
Right.
We feel you. So, the first initial meet, we all three went out. We went someplace that had a lot of dogs. I just remember that. It was odd. But we went, and we shook that spot very quick. We got a beer, and hey, you want to do something else? So our night continued, and it continued with me. Basically, I was really down for whatever, because it's just like, okay, she wants to meet me. And he's saying it's cool. I mean, I know where I'm coming in at, so I know it could go either way. So I was really just open for whatever emotion came through.
So if it was bad emotion, that meant some fist popping off, cool. But if we're gonna be cool emotions, we can be cool.
Because I'm very logical, so we can have a conversation if that's the note that you're coming on.
Right.
She pulled me to the side, actually. So she did really get what she wanted. She did get a long time with me. We were waiting for the bathroom. That felt like the longest way ever in life.
I bet.
I'm just, we're next. And I feel a hand. Let me talk to you. I was like, okay. Okay, here it goes. So she said, I'm not here. I'm not angry. I'm not here to confront you or anything like that. I just want to know that you're keeping it real with me from this day forward. Since we did get out, we did meet, is there anything? I don't want to look like a fool. And at that moment, I took away who she was and just looked at her as a woman. And I'm like, okay, well, as a woman, she's coming to me, coming to you as a woman, whatever, woman to woman. So I could interact with her that way. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever it is that you want to know. That line is a little tricky due to the fact that my loyalty and my bond was with Alex. So certain things I felt it was not my place. Certain things she wanted to know. So that put me in a bad space with her, moving forward from that conversation, because she did come to me and I did let her know that I would be real. But that's a dangerous line to play when you're loyal to a person and certain things, certain secrets are still held, certain things. So that's what led it to be a very bumpy road, because it still was not full-on honesty.
Okay, we getting some different stuff this time.
Did y'all hook up the first night, by the way, all three of y'all?
No.
Okay.
Are you listening to this conversation that it was bumpy at first? Last time we got more into but listen, last time you got, it's interesting because last time it seemed like we were the story seemed to focus in, did they sleep together?
Right.
But the story is, right now for me, I'm finding out more details now that we were not privy to the first time.
Right.
There was another man involved. There was a little anger. I'm getting some lies over here.
Oh, yeah.
This is a whole new story for me. Same people, but there's a development in the story.
Oh, yeah.
If Jimbo was a writer, I'd be like, that first movie sucked, bro. you left a lot of the meat of the story out, bro. We got to see the fight scene with the other dude.
Yeah.
We got to see hands touch her and like, okay, am I getting ready to hit her in her eye? Right. We're going to be cool. Then there's lies. Anyway, I'm adding commentary, but I'm really being serious.
Right.
We're learning more about this story now than just the sex.
I just had to ask.
We going to get that nasty one, okay? But how long did this... It's not truthful at first.
Right.
So how long before there's an honesty, like you said, there's secrets... There's no disrespect. There has to be a small amount of pillow talk that goes on. She didn't do this. She did that. Da. So you don't want to have a conversation. She's asking you what you do, how you do, why you do this, what he say about me, and she's asking you for full honesty.
Right. And
you don't want to start this new relationship if she's asking you for it, and y'all supposed to be cool. You brought him here to be a part of it. I don't want to start this lying to her. Right. So you do what when she's asking those hard questions that you think her man should have already broke down for her, but she's asking you because sometimes, let's just be honest, you can't believe that motherfucker.
Right. That is true.
Sorry, Alex.
I'll take that.
I know how we dudes operate, bro. We've done pillow talked with her. We done said some stuff, and she knows some stuff that she's done said about her, and now she wants to know exactly what it is.
Right. So the way I handled it, which was wrong, I continued to ride for that month.
Yeah.
So whatever he told her, I just piggybacked on it because that was his story to tell. So certain things that did not add up, I just jumped around it and didn't speak about it.
So when did the honesty, because to be in a relationship like this, there has to be 1,000% honesty, because it's going to be a lot of times where it's y'all against the rest of the world.
True.
Yeah.
So when did that happen?
During her transition, when she said basically it took a year for things just to really smooth out. It was during that different conversations. We would be alone. It wouldn't add up from what he's told her. So she'd be on his line. Well, you told me this, and it did. He'd be back on my line. It was too much of a mess. So it just
we missed all this the first time.
Oh yeah,
y'all hid some stuff from us.
We really did because we did not want. We were just introducing what we were doing, our lifestyle, and it was so many naysayers. I knew it was. So we just wanted to.
So
keep
why'd
it clean
y'all
and
fight?
crisp.
So why fight through all of that? So obviously, Alex, sorry, this is the part of the show where you're gonna get bashed a little.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's living a lie with these two beautiful women. He's living his best life. You know what I'm saying? But he's not being 100% honest. You know that. You know that. Oh, you know it too. But y'all know it.
Right.
But y'all still living this life because you've even told all of us about it. So where do we get to the point where it is 100% honesty? And through all this, how are both of you able to still be in the relationship if Alex is over here not still being 100% honest? Sorry, Alex.
Yeah,
It was during the breaking point. Basically, we all lost ourselves trying to be what it was that fell up underneath what people wanted us to be. Oh, it's a throuple, it's a triad. They have to be together. They have to be this, that. Certain things she was blinded by. It took for him to own up and say, okay, hey, this is this, whatever it is that you want to know. We're just going to come just flat out and just be honest with each other, because who else can we be honest with if it's not ourselves within this relationship? We're going to be still putting out lies, things that don't add up, different interviews we do. People, oh, well, they said it was this. And then, no, we have to straighten out the story and the actual, the truth. To where it can be easily spoken, easily discussed, easily relatable, and more real, just realistic. Instead of hiding behind a lie, a beautiful lie. That's what our relationship is about, the honest truth. Whereas ugly,
the painful truth.
Whether you can't handle it, it's there and it's more respected, to where you can always come back to the truth and say, okay, well, that made me feel this, but I'm glad you told me.
Did something happen that finally made you all say, hey, Alex, we both know. Now, spit it out or else.
More so on my end, there were more truths. It's just certain stories that weren't told to me that it really did not do too much damage, because I already knew who I was coming into it. I knew what position I played. So, it was more for Shalaun and for her awakening and for her just to smoothing her out, basically, to realize, okay, now they're being real. Because at first it was us against her. That's how she felt. Because if we're both holding secrets away from her, it's not a genuine love. It's not a genuine anything.
Right.
So I had to kind of look at myself and like, look, this girl, she came to me like, and I'm still holding on to lies. Okay, I had to explain to her the reason why I was holding on to them and my part in it, and just spill.
Shalaun, how long did this take for you to get 100% truth? And why were you able to still deal with it, knowing that you probably wouldn't get in full disclosure?
Alex is a horrible liar. His timelines never add up.
Oh, Lord.
And then...
Man, Alex, there was a lot of guys admiring you for a little while.
He's very, what is it, photogenic. He likes to take photos and doesn't realize that a lot of things come with timestamps and memories. So they pop up.
Alex.
And so I start asking questions, and then those questions get answered by Shantell that are totally different than what he has going on. So then I have to be like, okay, look, I know you're not being honest. I know it's not that calm, but in those lines, that's what it is. Like, I know you're not being honest, and if you want me to continue to try to work on this whole throuple relationship, then the only way it's going to be is to be 100% honest with me, because I feel like I'm out here in the streets looking like a fool. And I don't want to be looking like a fool, basically. Right.
I appreciate you all, because sometimes people can see something. This is totally different than the first interview. Yeah. Because now, before it looks, wow, this is great. One guy has two girls. But there now is human beings. There is betrayal. There's pain, there's hurt, there's deceit, and there's people who, particularly the wife, in my opinion, that's really dealing with it on a serious level, because you're like, hey, I'm the motherfucker that's I've allowed her to be here. I'm allowing you to get your way, and I'm not still getting 1,000%, and I'm being the most 1,000% of all. I think that this is probably the most honest of all the conversations we've ever had. I know Jazz want to just talk about the sex and do y'all sleep together, but to me, this is really because there are people that look at this, and there's people that want to try a particular lifestyle, and here's what you have to realize: that with every relationship, I don't care if it's two people or 3 or 4, whatever your deal is, there are still problems and issues that you have to face as human beings. It ain't all sunshine and happy days, and this guy like, whoo, I got 2 girls, it's a party. I mean, that's a part of it, and that's cool. Yeah. But there's human beings behind there as well, and there's some pain with it too. And like you say, you're out here and you presenting this lifestyle, and some days you don't feel 100% doing it. So I appreciate that you all are coming now with this story after a year for people to see, because now, sometimes you don't look like people, you look like people. You're just Alex is living this great life. But, there's people who really get hurt, not just because what you're doing here, but just human beings get hurt when people are not truthful.
Yeah.
So you get to see the human side. So I'm just appreciative of y'all honesty, because you didn't have to come here and drop these dimes on us that we did not know last time, Alex. But I do appreciate it.
What a lot of people don't understand is that in this kind of relationship, it's just like a regular relationship.
Exactly. There's ups and downs.
Yes, there's ups and downs, but it's double because you're dealing with 2 people now.
That's right.
So
that's right.
You're dealing with it from one side and you're dealing with it from the other side.
And I wanted to show that because sometimes people think, oh, you just, Hatta, you might just be trying to put a particular lifestyle out there. No, let me show you now. There's some things that may not be all pretty about it too. And these are things that you have to consider when you bring anybody into a relationship, not just your kids, not just your other family members, which I'm gonna get to that. Because I know when we talked the first time, your family was not quite aware. Right. And I know after you left here, they probably were very aware. Right. So we still need to talk about that. But I just want to say I appreciate you guys telling this part of it, because I don't want people to get the wrong idea about it's all great for Alex. There's some bad days where Alex is probably sitting there crying because he was, you were just being a very bad person.
Well, on that topic, Hatta, can I get one question into Alex? Alex, I know, from the outside, it looks great that possibly you have double the sex opportunities, right? Yeah. Is there any time when both parties have not been in the mood where you've been kind of
impossible?
No, that's a fair question.
Because you look on the outside, that's like the
that's
big
a great question.
But like, is there any time when you were like, hey,
you ready to get it on, and they like
shut down by 2?
Wow.
I've been shut down by both one time. I will report that. Oh my God, what? But yes, it is. There's times where she'll be like, do you want me to leave the room, or do you like it? Yeah, there'll be times it'll be just one-on-one, or just y'all do y'all's thing, because you can't really sexual desires. Me and her could be, you ready to go, you ready to get at it, her, and she'll be like, well, I'm gonna go watch Oprah. Do that.
So do y'all have any,
and I guess, Jimbo, your thing is, can there be times where both ladies
saying, both ladies rejected you?
They like, yo, I'm not really,
we're both not in the mood, right now.
Yeah.
It's a regular relationship. There are times when they don't want to do it, Jim.
Yeah.
Even there, because I'll be like, y'all keep going. I gotta go to work. I gotta exit. Bye.
Right.
There's been points at times he's rolled over to the left and he gets shut down on the left, turns over and be like, well, you know what, that didn't go that well. Let me go to the right. And he gets shut down on the right. And he's just laying there in the middle like, well, I guess I'm just going to go sleep now.
Bruh, let me just be honest, Alex. Days when you get shut down by 2,
comfortable.
It's double the pain. It's painful enough with one.
Couch comfortable.
Because at least
a plush.
But when you got another one there,
yeah.
This ain't supposed to happen.
So are there any different rules with relationship, or time spent, or sexual stuff like that?
Good question.
Time spent, yes. Mm-hmm. And the big thing about it is because we have a family. I have a daughter. I have a son. Mm-hmm. So we make sure everything is divided correct. So I might hit Shantell up Tuesday. What time you get up? You got up early? All right, we're going to have lunch or dinner real quick, because you have to have that bonding time. That's very important.
Even one-on-one.
One-on-one.
So the kids get time.
Yeah, so I'll hit my daughter up. Right now she's doing her own personal thing. She's 19, so I'll hit her, hey, I'm going to pick you up this day. Let's go catch a movie. I still got to involve my family. So everybody, I get that one-on-one. They get their one-on-one, and then we'll do our group thing.
And you can all come together.
Yeah, we do our group thing. So so
that's a lot of work.
Scheduling.
See, that's the other thing. People just see, oh, sex. No. If you don't give a woman that time.
Yeah, time.
I mean, because the most important thing is going to be the time. I mean, that's great, the sex, but if they don't get that time and feel like they're special people, there's not going to be sex.
Yeah, they're not going to be nothing, you know.
It's very important.
And so still, even individually, and you guys are okay with that as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shelby, do I look good? Yeah, you know how you go, girl. All right, well, we'll be back. We'll be back.
And y'all, and you guys did finally, if I remember correctly, y'all did move all under one roof.
Yeah, we had been living under.
But we just recently moved to
again.
Location. But yeah, we were underneath one roof.
Wow. Now, we talked, and your family was not aware of the life that you started to live. I'm just really curious as to how that was explained to mommy and daddy.
Okay, so the same dynamic as last time. Mommy and daddy, they are divorced, so they live separately. My dad, not so much. He's more, his religion changed, everything changed. So that conversation just is, I don't feel like it's going to happen maybe until later on down the line. With my mom, she's more... She rolls with my punches because I've been a kind of a complicated child. So she knows there's always something. She just waits on me to tell her because I don't like to kind of worry her with a lot of things. I don't like to tell her until I'm sure. So she just really waits on me and supports me with whatever it is that I'm doing. My cousins, those were the people that I was really more shocked about because they were hitting me up on the radio. I think I heard you. What? And it's like, I feel like everybody know me as a person, so they really don't know what's coming next, but they know, okay, she got a good head on her shoulder, so whatever she's doing, she's good. They know their opinion really, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it does not reflect on my actions. I take it in, I do what I do. So I don't feel like people waste their time telling me, oh, you should not do anything.
Was it mostly positive? Or
mostly, yes. It's either not talked about or
so
it's just, right. It's just like, I hear you on the radio. Like, I know what you're talking about, but,
but we gonna leave it there.
Yeah, because I'm the little cousin. So they're like, how is she doing? You know, I was the youngest. So they're really just watching and seeing. So much of my friends, those were like, it was kind of up and down. I just recently went to my class reunion at high school, and everybody, they kind of moseying around. I see you change your lifestyle. Okay, what do you want to talk about? And I was just like, you really didn't know me because it was high school. You don't know what lifestyle I chose to live. But thanks for the conversation.
Did you go as a throuple to the high school reunion?
No, actually, it was too much of everything. The pricing, it was a mess.
Gotcha.
So I was
She's
like,
embarrassed
okay.
me.
Whatever.
I thought you were going to be with the NBA star. You with this short dude now?
It was last minute for me, so I knew it would be last minute for them. Timing-wise, we had a lot of things going on in October, so that was just something I slid on in, and I did not expect the amount of people to, I seen you on the radio, and I heard this, and I'm like, okay, you know, what do you want to know? But it's more so positive. Like, nobody's really, basically because they know my personality, it would not matter.
Okay.
So more positive than anything. If you're negative, you can go. That's just.
And what about in your family too? They were they accepting? You know, because I know the kids got cousins and all kind of other stuff. So I know everyone had an opportunity. If they didn't hear it, they saw it. So how was your family? How accepting?
My family's always accepting of anybody who I bring in from a relationship. And then I have all 4 brothers, so I mean my brothers were already with it. They were like, what? They were already on board, yes.
Really?
Yeah. I got love for they love me. So they
really?
Yeah.
On the cool, I don't know, man. My little sister, I'd be like, man, I probably would have wanted to get at you, bro.
What's crazy is that her brothers have wrote me. I already knew you, boy. You
really?
Yeah. That we have a great relationship. It's been 20 years been with her, so
right. So
been with them. So
no surprise.
And we know each other. We know each other very well. So it's just like,
my brothers know I hold my own, so they already knew. Like, you know what, you're in good hands with him, and if it don't work out, then you got yourself. You're gonna rock with your own.
Got you. This is amazing. Jazz, I know you want to ask.
Ready?
Yeah.
Come with the dirty questions.
I'm really happy that y'all told more of the inside of the human part of the story, though, because again, I don't want to give somebody I don't want to give the appearance of this is.
It's just magical like that.
Yeah, man.
And
I know I said that before, but I'm really appreciative that y'all would share that because I could tell. That was something intimate that before we really didn't want to get into.
Right.
And
that was a lot of
relationship.
feedback that we got after we were on the show, and the people on Instagram and stuff, they were, you guys are couples goals, you're this, you're that.
We don't want to be goals.
Right. So like, hey, it ain't all. I'm glad. That's why I'm really, really happy that. Let us expose our truth on what this relationship really is. There's highs and lows, and there's a lot of work for the one homie there that, I got to make sure, because you got a little girl that's a part of your family, talking about your baby, not just your son, but a baby, you want to raise her a particular way, so she needs her time with just daddy. You know what I'm saying? So I did want to, I'm glad that you mentioned that, so thank you. I'm just curious, because I know, did you want kids?
Yes, I do. I do want kids. In this situation, I'm doing it in reverse. They have old kids, so they're those kids are old.
Not my babies. Not my babies.
I didn't catch them cute or cuddly. Yeah, they're cute. I didn't catch them
in the baby stage.
Yeah, in the baby stage.
Yes.
So it was a lot of pressure because they were already individuals themselves. And so it's like I'm coming into a family that's already together. So
see, these are the difficulties. And Thank you.
My insecurities were very high. I'm like, well, they know I'm not their mother. I'm not trying to be their mother.
Right.
I mean, I look like their sibling. It was just a lot in my head. And it took for Alex to tell me, hey, get a good relationship with them on your own. Not through us, not through anything. Talk to them. They waiting on you to come to them. I'm the adult, but I've never had anyone underneath me looking up to me. So that was just a transition as a whole. And I'm like, okay, I can't treat them like the homies. I gotta come to them as an adult. Okay, get grown. And so I set that relationship with them, and we built that bond, and then that respect came, and then the understanding came of who I am as an individual in the household. I'm here for you as well. And then they started coming to me. They started opening up, telling me different things that they weren't telling their parents. Not even on, nothing sneaky, but just coming
sometimes,
to me.
They need that other ear.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
And I love them. I love them just like they are my own. They're my babies before my babies. So I feel like I'll be good with that stage. Now I got to get the burping and the diapers under control because I did not get that crash course.
They just grow up into these.
Right. I wanted to baby him so bad. I think my stepson, I dropped him off late for school, and I got out and I signed him in, and he's 17. And she was like, you didn't have to do that. I thought he needed a note. I thought, this is what I thought you were supposed to do. So I'm ready for children when that time does come, but I'm still, trying to travel and trying to get me correct before I.
But if it happens,
right?
If it happens, you wouldn't be like, Lord.
Did the kids give you a hard time at first?
No, not so much a hard time. I did have to just learn their personalities, and they had to learn mine. I'm different from their parents, so.
And the kids were just as accepting.
Right, they were accepting. They looked at me. They're like, okay, well, they read me first. Like, okay, well, this I can't get away with that, but I can go this way. They learned us all to figure out how to come, and that respect and that love is reciprocated very genuinely. So. Yeah, I could say it was a good.
Alex, how was that handled in the family as well? That I don't think we dealt with that last time either because there's children involved. Them seeing another woman involved with dad, how was that transition for them?
It wasn't too difficult because I keep a very open line of communication with both my children. Right. So it was just explaining how it's gonna be, how it's gonna be kind of different with us. This is just that mother, respect in that same sense as if it's your mother or your father. That's why I went to her build her own relationship, with them so they could understand how the relationship is going to be with each other. And my kids were just open to it. Okay, cool. I have an additional mother.
They weren't worried
more
about
gifts, more
backlash from school because when things this is not. The everyday, I don't want to use that word. I hate to use that word.
Right.
But this is a different lifestyle that most kids don't see.
Yeah.
Right. So they got to go to school, and some of them will have to explain the situation. Like I said, they hear it and they see it. So how was that?
And that's the crazy thing, right? Because we became the popular parents at their school. Oh man, yeah. Oh, your dad? Oh, I know about that. And your mom, that's your stepmom. When they would go to the school to pick them up, hey, tell your moms to say hi.
I just go to Willow Ridge, so they're all fully aware of what's going on, and it's just like every time they get on FaceTime with them or on a chat, they're trying to see what me and Shantell are doing. Or my daughter, where's your fine ass daddy at?
She wanted me to start going to her volleyball games.
What? Like, so y'all became celebrities?
Now, has there been any backlash for you guys with like the other parents who are seeing this?
Oh, of course.
Like teachers.
Of course. Yeah. Teachers know. They're with it. They see how involved we are. So they understand that it's just another parent handling, hey, what are you doing? But other parents, of course, they see and they're like, oh, no, what are you showing your kids? Oh, my God, that's nose up in the air. Like,
so how do you deal with that? Because you have to explain that to your kids, too, or you had to at some point.
At the end of the day, like, they know. You don't know what goes behind closed doors.
Yeah.
They understand in this household, it's nothing but love. We're pushing education. That's the first thing in the household. We want to make sure you guarantee your happiness, whatever you're going to do. In another home, you could probably...
all kind of stuff could be going on.
Right.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
That's
but
right.
we don't know. So while they're bringing that negativity over there, just understand one thing. There might be negativity in their life. And we'll have to entertain that. We're above that. We move across that. Wish them a good day and keep it moving forward. And don't let it get to you. And my kids, they rock. You see them, they smiling everywhere. They doing everything. They friends love coming around. As long as we solid to each other, it don't matter what the world thinks.
Wow.
Final question. Is there a possibility that you'll add another woman to the mix?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay. There it is. Not happening.
Boy, they ain't elaborate. No, okay.
I gotta start sliding in your DM, shorty. No, I
Don't do it.
They're watching timestamps. Don't do it.
I can't believe that was your only question.
My last question.
That was your last
I thought you had a bunch of
They was ready for you, dog. They know you the one out of here.
What did you guys expect me to ask? That's what I really want to know.
I don't know.
Okay, let me help.
Uh-oh. Ask my famous question.
No, I'm not asking that. What was it like the first time that all three of you were together? Sexually.
The puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
Like it was okay when you go.
It wasn't smooth. It wasn't smooth sailing.
Like the porn,
all that sexy stuff. No.
That y'all think y'all see out there, and they have people instructing them on where to go and put legs and arms and hands and other pieces of the body. When you're doing it on your own, it's totally different. Everybody's like,
it was her first time. She's like, okay,
don't poke me in the eye.
Watch out. I think at one moment she said, "This is like a porno."
First time, I'm like, is this happening? Okay, well, this is happening.
What's happening?
Just roll with, okay, well.
I showed up like Marshawn Lynch. You know what I'm here for.
Oh.
And also, I know people are curious. Is there ever a time where, sorry, Alex get left out and it's just you two?
Used to be at the
beginning. Yes.
What does that mean at the beginning? You have lost the desire, or?
Not necessarily. Like, different dynamics have changed, but yeah, for the most part, yeah, sometimes he does.
Okay, I feel like something's going on there.
So when we first got together, me and Shantell didn't get a chance to know each other on a one-on-one level, just to know each other as individuals.
Mm-hmm. If we like each other.
If it's gonna work out. So we're doing it kind of in reverse. So we're starting over from, we're getting to know each other more than having sexual encounters every night with each other.
Establishing a relationship.
Establishing our relationship.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm glad. See, all of this stuff y'all did not say
This
before.
is awesome.
This is totally. You've taken all the sex out of it for Jazz.
Jimbo wants to know if you guys eat booty.
No. What? Oh, we're not doing that on this.
You have to do what you gotta do, Alex.
I mean,
Oh,
double time, Alex. Double time.
I go ahead and eat the butt.
Alex, tell everybody everybody by where to see y'all at on social media, man.
Make sure you follow us on Portah Family, Portah Family. Join our journey. Also, we are in the talks with production on the show. So,
really?
Yeah. Big thank you to you guys, because if y'all didn't bring us up here the first time, so maybe you might see us. So anybody who should invite us out.
And can they hit y'all ask questions? Because I know there's people who are so curious, so they'll see it and there's no one they can turn to. Can they hit you on the gram and ask questions?
Most definitely, you can hit us and get check in, ask us a question. We're gonna keep it honest, be as transparent.
At the Portah Family on
Portah
Instagram.
Family.
Did you spell it?
Yeah, Portah Family. If y'all can't spell family, then y'all should not.
I appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all. This was way different than the first one. The first one, y'all can see the first one is more about the sex part. This one right here was more about the people. And I appreciate that everything ain't all, sunshine and happy days. There's some bad days too. But as a family, if we're really family, we can stick it out and we can win together. So I appreciate that. After a year, we come back and we learn all this other stuff. Thank you.
Yeah,
See y'all next year. Same time, same place.